All right, welcome everybody to episode 2 of the CheapPopsShow. We are coming from an undisclosed location, parts unknown, if you will. I'm Dave.
I'm Nick.
And we'd like to thank you for checking out this episode. We went somewhere pretty cool last weekend. We actually went to the Impact Rebellion pay-per-view. This is an actual poster from the merch table. It was a great pay-per-view. We're going to do a review later, but there's some stuff that we also want to talk about. I don't know if you've been seeing it, but I've been seeing it. Sunny is still posting on Twitter. She's plugging her OnlyFans, so she's pretty much whoring herself out after she killed a guy in an auto accident when she didn't have a license. I don't even know what to say about her at this point. Her life is just a crap show, and I'm probably going to unfollow her because, to be honest, it bothers me that, she has no shame. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, she's just a fucking train wreck.
Yeah, for one of the people that was so iconic in the wrestling business to have fallen that... I mean, even Jeff Hardy hasn't fallen that far, and he's a mess too at times,
at least he's still...
Yeah.
Kinda...
Yeah, at least he's not a crazy person that's killing people and then, sharing stuff for her OnlyFans. But...
Well, don't you mean his OnlyFans?
Yeah. But, I haven't been watching a lot of WWE, but I have been hearing some news. They're changing people's names again.
Ugh.
Austin Theory is now Theory. What kind of name is just Theory?
What's the theory behind that?
I see what you did there. That's good. Tommaso Ciampa is now just Ciampa.
I would like to take a Ciampa out of that.
Oh, good lord. Puns only Bruce Pritchard could love. They changed Casey Catanzaro's name to Katana something. And they had her explain it in a promo video that did nothing to explain it whatsoever. But this whole thing... We know who they are. Like Pete Dunne is Butch. I was just watching, because I listened to Jeff Jarrett's podcast. I was watching the 2019 Royal Rumble where he was a surprise entrant. Pete Dunne came out halfway through the match, but now he's Butch. Like nobody knows who he is. And Raquel Gonzalez is now. I don't even remember. I don't know what they're calling her now. But as soon as she got pulled up to the main roster, they're calling her something different.
Yes, come on up to the main roster. We're gonna give you a fucking different name.
Yeah, well, I get, you think that most of your fans don't watch NXT, but when it's a nationally broadcast show, if people are watching WWE, chances are they're watching NXT too. Yeah. So they know who these people are, especially a guy like Ciampa who's been on the main roster before. It just... So when Braun Breaker comes up, are you going to finally call him Rex Steiner? Now that everybody knows he's a Steiner, I don't understand. But, what are you going to do? I don't know if you saw the news, but my favorite video game franchise of all time, Streets of Rage, is getting made into a movie.
Sweet.
And the creator of the John Wick franchise is the one who's doing it. Think of how cool that's going to be when the John Wick guy is creating a Streets of Rage game.
Yes.
Streets of Rage is my favorite beat-em-up game of all time. Streets of Rage 2 is my favorite game of all time. If you haven't played that, you can download it, the Sega Classics and all that.
If we can segue into video games.
Yeah, absolutely.
The new DLC has dropped for WWE 2K22.
And this man loves that game.
It's freaking awesome because it actually brings you back to like the old games, like right. No Way Out.
Yep.
You played that.
Oh yeah, and you've been showing me videos and all that stuff,
yes.
And it does look really cool, the stuff that they've added, and it does look like it's gone back to the way the games used to be, where like you said, you lock up and then you do a move.
Yes.
It's not, yeah.
I love the fact that you can throw your opponent off the freaking stage, or you can go to the backstage area exactly. And go up on like little platforms and throw your opponent off.
Right. I mean, if I had a console, which I don't, I have a Switch, but I'd probably play it too, and I'm sure we'll play it together eventually. Yes. But we have lives, so it's kind of hard to even getting the time to record this was hard. I had to have it come to a day when I actually could do it. Yeah, I hope we can play the game because it looks really, really cool.
It is really good.
It looks like taking the year off to do something with it was good for them. So.
I have it on the PlayStation 5. I want to get it for my Xbox system.
He has more game systems than you could shake a stick at. He owns pretty much any game system you can think of. He has it, and he has to have the game for every system because he likes spending money. But I'm excited to actually play the game sometime with you.
It is definitely worth it.
Yeah, one thing that we're going to be doing a couple of events. Him and I, we're going to have tables at certain events. If you're in upstate New York, if you're watching this, at the Desmond Hotel in Albany next weekend, May 8th, we are going to have a merchandise table at Scott Wilder's 80s Superstars. Dutch Mantell is going to be there. The old school ring announcer Mike McGurk is going to be there. The Rougeau brothers and Jimmy Hart are going to be there. They're even going to be doing a special photo op with the Rougeaus and Jimmy Hart. The fact that the Rougeaus are going to be there together and Jacques Rougeau's not going to be in the Mountie gimmick, they're going to be doing a photo op together. That's awesome to me.
Yes.
We love doing merch tables. I mean, it's mainly because we're going to try to get word out about this show, but I love selling merch. I have stuff I need to get rid of. So if, May 8th.
Sometimes I get merch off you.
Yeah, it's true, you do. May 8th at Desmond Hotel in Albany, Scott Wilder Promotions, the 80s Superstars. We're going to be there promoting the show. Come up and say hi, tell us you hate the show, tell us you love the show.
Tell us to go fuck ourselves or whatever.
You could do that too. I might actually, give you a rock bottom or something just for saying that.
I might give you a Stone Cold Stunner.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say Tombstone, but, I'm a fat guy who probably can't lift you up enough to give you Tombstone. So, June 18th, Tough and Talented Wrestling, Torrington, Connecticut. We talked about Tough and Talented on our first episode. Bull Dread is going to be wrestling Slick Wagner Brown. The guy who created our logo, Dave Cole, is going to be wrestling at that event too, which I think is awesome. I should have written down the whole card. I didn't.
Should we point out our logo again?
Yeah. Done by Dave Cole at Davey Painting on Twitter. He has Dave Cole Dojo is his website. He's awesome. We plan on having him do some more for us too, so check his stuff out. You see the ring canvas at GCW. He's done most of those ring canvases, painting all that stuff. He's amazing. I believe he did the ring canvas for G1 Supercard when Ring of Honor sold out Madison Square Garden. I believe he did that ring canvas too, which is pretty cool. But hopefully we're going to be able to interview Bull Dread for a little bit. We want to do a short interview with the Stepdads because we mentioned in the first episode how much we love that tag team. So
that was freaking awesome.
If you're in the Northeast and you're within driving distance of Connecticut, I highly suggest going to this show because Tough and Talented put on an amazing show. It's one company we had never been to before. Yeah. Not a single wrestler that we knew aside from Slick Wagner Brown and Bull Dread, but I don't think there was a bad wrestler in the show. No. I think it was a really good show. We have talked to the promoter, and we might be recording some matches and doing some alternate commentary over them, which I think will be fun.
Yes.
But
does that mean I get to pull my Vince McMahon out and be like, "What a maneuver"?
Yeah, you can do your Vince. That's fine with me.
Yes.
In the vein of we went to Rebellion, in one of the matches, the Inspiration, who used to be, God, I can't even think of their name.
The Iconics.
Iconics, yes. They are leaving Impact Wrestling. They say they are stopping their in-ring careers, which sucks because we saw them in the pre-show of Rebellion in a tag team title match. Now, when I first saw this news, I don't know the site, but it said Impact News, former WWE tag team champions leaving Impact. Why? They're former Impact Women's Tag Team Champions.
Ugh.
Why? I get you want to get clicks, but you're a wrestling news site.
Get your fucking facts right.
Yeah, get crap straight. Really, I don't understand. But we'll get to the review of Rebellion. It was a really good show.
Yes.
When we went in, the doors opened at 6. The arena doors didn't open until 6:30. But we got in, we got our merch because the merch table was in there. I bought this shirt and an Honor No More shirt. Nick got Violent by Design.
Moose and Eddie Edwards.
Eddie Edwards, yep. $25 per shirt, which wasn't bad at all.
No.
The posters were $5 a piece. Actually, I didn't tell you this, but you got one, I got one. He rolled up 3. So I'm eventually probably going to get one of them autographed at some point.
There you
and
go.
This one will stay right in the frame. It was a great show. The atmosphere was amazing. I didn't hear it, but maybe if you have a good sound bar, you might be able to hear me yelling at one point.
Yes.
Because people were standing up during the matches, and we were about 5 rows back, which our seats were great. For general admission, the seats were great.
And I am going to put this to the test because I got great soundbar speaker. You gave me the pay-per-view on the flash drive.
Yes, I did.
I want to see if we can pick it up where you go, sit down during the tag match.
I was screaming pretty loud because it was getting ridiculous. With
It
people
was
standing.
ridiculous.
You know, I get that, you know, you're excited for it, but we paid for our seats. They were standing in the back. So you don't need to run up to the ring and just stand there through the whole match. Even if you're taking pictures, you shouldn't be taking pictures that long. I was taking pictures. I got good pictures sitting down.
And so did I.
Right, but we'll get more into that after. Something I wanted to do, I thought about it. This came in on Wednesday. I've been wanting to open this, and I haven't opened it yet. If anybody subscribes to Pro Wrestling Crate from Pro Wrestling Tees, I love this service. It comes with 2 t-shirts, a micro brawler, and usually a pin, and then some other stuff. I haven't opened it yet. I got a little spoiler, unfortunately, on what's in it, but I haven't even cut the tape on it yet, so I'm going to do that now, and I thought it would be cool to do a little unboxing for the show.
And I was thinking about starting to do this.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm going to put that to the side because that gives spoilers on what's in here. This is the one that I had... I knew the spoiler on, and yes, I'm a fat man, so you'll see the fat man size of the shirt. Little Dusty Rhodes Hard Times.
Yes.
I think it's a great shirt. That's really
That
cool.
looks amazing.
That's old school. And see, the reason...
That is super old school, Dusty.
The reason the guy... I saw the spoiler was because the guy was complaining that the printing on his was whack. Well, mine looks perfectly fine in the center, so
yeah,
looks good to me. Let's see what's next. Another shirt.
Oh,
a Dr. Britt Baker DMD shirt.
That is awesome.
I'm always good.
That is awesome because it actually has the logo right
her
there.
logo, yeah, that's really cool. And you know, I wear her well because I spread her out because I'm so fat.
I knew you would like to spread her out.
Listen, let's not get into that. The micro brawler. Oh, the
yes.
1, 2, 3 kid with the old school. Now,
Yes.
That's really cool.
That is really cool.
You went with us when we met Sean Waltman, right?
Yes, and we confused the
we confused the heck out of him because we told him he was number 30 in the Royal Rumble and he didn't remember that, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, it was
but
hilarious.
That's a really cool micro brawler. I like adding that to my collection. That's really cool.
Would he stand up?
Hold him up, Brody. Hold him up.
There we go.
A red dragon sticker. That's really cool.
That is cool, especially being your last name.
Right.
That is freaking
A
cool.
little like kids book of Adam Page and looks like the Young Bucks are in it.
That's freaking cool.
That's cool. Story by Adam Page. I like that.
That really is cool.
Let's see. What's my pin? The Briscoes. It's a double pin. That is really cool.
That is really cool.
We were hoping that the Briscoes would have shown up at the pay-per-view as one of the surprise teams. If you've watched Impact, you know, you should. They were there the night after, which maybe they had an indie show or something the night before. I was really hoping that they were going to be part of the.
I know you're going to lose your
pay-per-view.
shit if they showed up.
Yeah, I was going to go nuts. The autograph. A little dirty dango, a little fandango.
Fandango.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, you know, I never expect, you know, really good autographs. I'm not saying it's a crappy autograph.
That is actually a good one.
Yeah, I like that. So for $50, because like I said, I get the Fat Man shirts.
For $50, that's not bad. That's jam
the shirts alone on Pro Wrestling Tees are $50.
Exactly.
So that you get all this other stuff with it is really cool. You're mostly going to get AEW and indie stuff because, it's Pro Wrestling Tees does all their stuff with AEW. So,
yeah.
But let's see. Next month, the Hardys, the New Age Outlaws, Eddie Guerrero, Danhausen, the Shockmaster, and Andrade El Idolo.
Ooh.
Well, I can pretty much guarantee the autograph's not going to be Eddie Guerrero. Just saying, he's only been dead for 17 years. But I'd like the autograph to be Danhausen. That would be pretty cool. But Shockmaster, that's pretty cool.
Yes.
So it spoils who's going to be in it, but it doesn't spoil what's going to be in it. But this card that comes with it is great because, well, you don't want to see it as soon as you open the box because it tells you everything that's in it. But I think it's really cool that they, you have that as a list of what was in the crate for the month. So if somebody asks you, hey, what was in the crate for April, you can grab the card and tell them. But I
do want to start doing that.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. It's a really cool thing to get every month, just to see what you get. Like,
exactly.
I have not gotten a single item that I didn't like, and I've been doing it for about 6 months. $50 a month is kind of steep, but if you really love wrestling and you really love getting stuff,
and like I said, for $50 and all that,
yeah. I mean, a pin of the Briscoes, other than something that you would buy off the Ring of Honor website, where are you going to get that?
Right.
You know what I mean? So and you're going to get exclusive stuff. So, and to be honest, if I don't like it, I can sell it at a merch table at some point. So, that was actually pretty cool. I'm glad we did that on the show. I love that Red Dragon sticker. That's actually, that's pretty cool. All right. So, do you have anything else you want to get out before we get into Rebellion?
Rebellion!
It was really cool. I forgot how small the Mid-Hudson Civic Center is. It's a tiny-ass building. I met the Ultimate Warrior there. I met Roddy Piper there, Booker T. I met a lot of people at that building. I saw a few Northeast wrestling shows there. Brooke Tessmacher in a bikini at that show, at that building. It's a nice building for an event.
My boss was actually talking about some of the Northeast wrestling shows.
They have done good shows in the past. I'm not trying to throw shade on Northeast wrestling, but I enjoyed shows earlier on than I did later. It seemed to be all about the meet and greets more than the shows at that point. But I did enjoy Northeast wrestling, so they bring in a lot of big names usually for their shows. So maybe we'll go to one down there at some point. But it was a 2-hour drive to Poughkeepsie, a 2-hour drive home. We were stoked the whole time. It was great.
Then on the way home, Jesus Christ, it was like...
Yeah, we were exhausted because the good thing about a pay-per-view is you know that you're going to get out of there by 11. Yeah. Because they have a set time for their satellite feed and a set time to be out for the pay-per-view. So that was cool. Some of the indie shows, you never really know what time you're going to get out of there. But there was a dark match before the pay-per-view. Kenny King against Decay's Crazy Steve. I thought that was a good match. That was
pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen Kenny King wrestle live before, so that was really cool.
It was really cool.
It was a good match. It looked like they didn't do a lot because it was just to pump up the crowd a little bit before the pre-show started. Once the pre-show started, Eddie Edwards against Chris Bay. Chris Bay from the Bullet Club. Eddie Edwards from Honor No More, which I think is an awesome faction.
Yes.
Chris Bay substituting for Jonathan Gresham. There was no explanation of why Jonathan Gresham wasn't there, but still, I like Chris Bay. I think he's amazing. He's a great X Division wrestler. I love everything Bullet Club. I've really enjoyed the Bullet Club. I know people think it's just an NWO ripoff and everything. I don't care. I think it's great. And their merchandise is really cool.
Well, if you fucking think about it, the NWO was a ripoff.
It was, yeah. The next match in the pre-show was the women's tag title that we talked about a little bit. The Influence, which is Madison Rayne and Tennille Dashwood, against the Inspiration, Jessie McKay and Cassie Lee. It sucks that, they're leaving. It was a good match. I liked it. I thought it was
a really good match.
Yeah, and Havoc, or no, not Havoc. there wasn't anything involved in that match. It was just a straight up tag match.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. I really enjoy women's wrestling. There's a lot of people that throw shade on women's wrestling. I think the women are just as good as the men. As a matter of fact, Deonna Purrazzo, who was on this show a little later, is my favorite wrestler currently. Not female wrestler, my favorite wrestler in the business. I think she's the best wrestler in the world right now. It was a good tag match. The Influence ended up keeping the tag titles. I don't remember a lot about the match. It was, and I even watched it again, which is I hate admitting that I don't remember a lot. It was a really good match.
It comes with age.
Yeah, it comes. Yeah.
It's okay. I start forgetting too.
Once the pay-per-view got started, after the video packages and everything, had a triple threat match. Steve Maclin, Chris Sabin, an X Division original, and Jay White of the Bullet Club. When I first saw Jay White, I was not impressed. I didn't like his style or anything, but since he's been the leader of the Bullet Club, I really enjoy him. I really enjoy his matches. I think he's turned everything up. This was a really good triple threat match.
It really was. I
was not expecting Steve Maclin to get the win. I think that's really cool. I like Maclin. To be honest, I enjoy the entire Impact roster. I thought it was a really good pay-per-view opener. Triple threat matches can kind of be a cluster from time to time.
Yeah.
I thought this one was really good.
I think it was fucked up that the referee was trying to count to 10 when they're outside the fucking ring.
I think that's force of habit at some point. Steve Maclin went for a shoulder block in the corner at one point and went straight out the second rope into the table where Dave Penzer, the announcer, was.
You could fucking hear it.
You could hear it. You could hear it. It was really loud, and we were across the ring, which we were right behind the commentators, which was cool because then we could see what was happening on the monitor, the stuff that was on the other side of the ring, which is pretty cool. The bad part about it was everybody was trying to run up to whenever there was a non-camera for the announcers to be behind them. But
get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah, get out of the way. But good match overall. It was a great start to the pay-per-view. The next match, my favorite match, the Champ Challenge, Deonna Purrazzo against the returning Taya Valkyrie. I cannot pronounce the AAA women's title, the Reina de Reyes. That might be wrong. It was a great match. I like Taya Valkyrie. I think she's been really good. I love the women's matches in Impact. I think Deonna Purrazzo is amazing. It was a really good match.
Way better than what the shit WWE's been doing.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, let's keep pushing the same old fucking shit.
Deonna came in as the champ, the Ring of Honor Women's Champ and the AAA Women's Champ. Taya got the win after a really good match. I thought it was really good. We'll talk about the other women's match where there was a couple things, but next, an X Division triple threat match for
that was the match of the night, in my opinion.
In your opinion, yep. Ace Austin against the champion Trey Miguel and Speedball Mike Bailey.
That's kind of borderline, right? Speedball.
The X Division always brings excitement. Triple threat match X Division matches are usually really good because there's a lot of things they can play with.
Oh yeah.
The match went all over the place. They were doing dives. The crowd was really hot for this match. I've seen reports where people say the crowd was dead. Then you aren't paying attention.
No.
It may not come across on TV, but that crowd was on fire for most of that pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
It was a really good...
And who knows, there might have been popping them fucking noises like WWE does.
I didn't pick it up on the pay-per-view, but I thought the crowd was really good. Trey came in as the champion, but Ace Austin ended up with the win.
The move that fucking Speedball did off the top rope, that was amazing.
The 630 knee drop, yeah, that's a really cool move.
I mean, from the mid rope. To the outside.
Yeah,
that was fucking
one,
amazing.
Yeah, we actually saw him in the parking garage after the pay-per-view and told him that we liked his match.
Yes.
So that was pretty cool. The next match, this is the first time for me ever seeing a Japanese wrestler live. Probably for you too. Tomohiro Ishii is a beast. That match really he had with Jonah, that was a hard-hitting match. It really was. It was great. I know some people don't like the Japanese strong style where they're really laying stuff in and the match moves kind of slow. They're two big dudes. You know, Earthquake and Typhoon, their matches weren't, 5-star classics. I wasn't expecting a 5-star classic. I was expecting a match where they were going to beat the crap out of each other. Jonah missed the tsunami at one point. He hit the tsunami. Ishii kicked out.
That match from start to end was fucking amazing.
It was really, and Ishii got the win, which I thought
Jonah was gonna get it.
I did too. But I know they're going with Jonah and PCO forward, so maybe they wanted to give Ishii the win on the pay-per-view. I completely understand that. Next, the 8-team elimination match for the tag titles. Violent by Design went in as the champions. The first team out, the major players, Brian Myers and Matt Cardona with Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green was looking all the way live. I gotta say that. I like Cardona and Myers. We met them at Showcase of Legends. Cardona's a good dude. He let me hold the NWA title, which is heavy as fuck. Next team out, of course, the first team they were facing, Jordan Grace and W. Morrissey. For those of you who don't know who W. Morrissey is, he was Big Cass in WWE.
And he got some...
Yeah.
Later on in the match.
Oh, yeah. It was really cool. They were Cardona was kind of running away from Jordan Grace because he took the digital media championship from her. It was short. I mean, they pretty much just, I don't, to be honest, I don't even remember. Was it like a quick roll up or something?
Yeah, it was a quick roll up in the ring.
Yeah. And they ended up taking out the major players, and then Chelsea Green tried to go for a low blow on Morrissey, and he had a cup on, and they were on the outside of the ring. He went to powerbomb Chelsea Green on the table outside.
I think he lost his grip.
She had leather pants on. He had water all over him because he had wetted his hair.
Yeah.
And she had leather pants. I think he lost his grip. The way it looked to me, he grabbed right on her chest and just powerbombed her down.
I even kept re-looking back at the video, and it's like, yeah, he looks like he legit lost his grip.
and the look on her face wasn't like she was pissed. She was just surprised that it was happening.
Yeah.
I legit think he lost his grip, and that was his only way of, grabbing. Because I'm sure he didn't want to grab her hair or anything like that. So... Yeah,
I would like to see the backstage conversation on that one.
Right. So Jordan Grace and Morrissey got eliminated. So then the next team out was the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Doc Gallows, and
should we mention that we got to meet them before the show?
Oh, that's right. Machine Gun and Carl Anderson, the Bullet Club. We got to meet them before the show. That was actually really cool.
And I got to meet Moose before the show.
Yeah. He went out and met Moose. We went half on the photo op. We'll post. Yep. I'll actually post that on our social media, which we're at CheapPopsShow on Twitter and on Instagram.
And don't forget Facebook.
Yeah. But the Good Brothers ended up eliminating the major players pretty quickly, actually.
Yeah, that was pretty quick.
I think they were they wanted certain parts of this match to go long.
Yeah.
And certain parts to go slow, which brings us to the next team out, Johnny Swinger and Ziki Dice. Pure comedy at its best.
Yes.
Ziki Dice ended up taking the Magic Killer 1, 2, 3, and they were out of there. The next team, Rich Swann and Willie Mack. I really enjoy these two as a tag team. Of course, Rich Swann was in WWE. Willie Mack from Lucha Underground, if anybody watched that.
They did have that a little bit drawn out.
Yeah, that went a while.
Yes.
But Swan and Mack ended up getting eliminated. I believe it was Willie Mack that took the Magic Killer. The next team out, Honor No More. Matt Taven and Michael Bennett. They used to be the Kingdom. Actually, I think they're calling them the Kingdom again because now Tony Khan owns the Ring of Honor. The other members, Vincent and I don't know if it was Vincent and Kenny King came out on the ramp with Maria Kanellis.
Yep.
So the announcers actually, when I watched it back, were saying, I thought it was Taven and Bennett that were the team. Well, from behind the Good Brothers came Honor No More and attack them. I loved it. The Honor No More ended up eliminating the Good Brothers. The next team out, Heath and Rhino.
And this is the part where we got where I want to listen to, because it was during this little interaction.
That was the part where I started yelling for people to sit down. And I yelled very loudly.
Yes.
And I think the only reason they did it was because I started swearing. And I feel bad about that, to be honest, because there were kids there. But
I think what was funny, the security guard looked like Gangrel, but fat Gangrel.
He looked like a bloated Gangrel. He looked like a Gangrel after a beer and chicken wings bender. But I'm a fat man, so I can say that. This is where the match I don't want to say slowed down, but it became a real match. Heath and Rhino ended up eliminating Honor No More. The last team out, Violent by Design, Eric Young and Joe Doring. Why is it that whenever Eric Young is put in a faction, it is the best faction on the show? You know, Sanity, which WWE completely screwed up.
They fucked it up.
They really did. And now Violent by Design, I think it's a great group. I never pictured Diener, who had been a comedy wrestler in TNA before. I never expected him to be, portrayed as a badass. Rhino was actually in Violent by Design at one point, and then left. He got away from the brainwashing of Eric Young. I thought it was good. I've never really been a big fan of Heath. He's just kind of a guy that's just been there. I like him and Rhino together. It's okay. But
don't you know he's got kids?
He's got kids, yeah. Violent by Design ended up winning and remaining champs. Of course, they were the last team out, so I was disappointed that the Briscoes weren't a mystery team, but
I think they were supposed to be, but like you said, they could have been having a show then or something like that.
Maybe it was just optimism on my part because I knew they were going to be at the TV tapings the next day, but which they did end up showing up on the next episode of Impact to confront Violent by Design, which is really cool. I just wanted to hear the music and have those guys come out so I could lose my shit. That's pretty much all I want.
And like I said, if you lose your shit all over the floor, I'm not fucking cleaning it up.
Jesus, here we go. It was good for a gauntlet match. I thought it was good. The way they paced it, I thought it was really good. Getting guys out when they should have been out. No offense to Swinger and Ziki Dice, but they're a comedy team. I didn't expect them to I didn't even expect them to be in the match. So the fact that they lasted as long as they did kind of surprised me. Overall, I thought it was a good match.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best match of the night, but I thought it was good. The next match, it was an okay match. No offense to Tasha Steelz and Rosemary, but it kind of looked like Charlotte was in this match, where it was just... I like Rosemary. I think Rosemary's a great character. We met her. She was really nice. Tasha Steelz as the women's champion. I like her. I like her attitude. I actually saw her wrestle earlier in her career at World of Hurt shows up here. I like her a lot. She's got, a badass attitude, a ghetto girl. I don't mean that derogatory. That's what she portrays. She calls herself the Boricua badass.
Well, at least she's not sitting there blah blah blah.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a good match. The Falcon Arrow at the end, Tasha Steelz kind of messed it up, or Blue Thunder Bomb, or what? It was messed up.
It was fucked up.
It wasn't a technical masterpiece. I wasn't expecting it to be, but it doesn't seem like they clicked very well.
No, that could have been a kind of a opening.
Yeah, I do. We talked about this. I believe that should have been close, earlier on the card. I think Deonna Purrazzo and Taya Valkyrie should have been later. It was okay. Tasha Steelz ended up keeping the women's title, but clearly not as good as Deonna Purrazzo and Taya Valkyrie. That match was way better. Not to disparage Tasha Steelz and Rosemary, like I said, it was a decent match. It just wasn't.
I don't think they were gelling very well.
No, it didn't come off well at all.
No. But
the match that most of the crowd there was for, because they chanted through the whole thing, which the chanting stuff is kind of old to me. The "this is awesome," the "you deserve it," the going back and forth with the wrestlers' names. They were doing walking weapon and then moose. That stuff, I don't care about it anymore. The same with the "what" chant. The only one that I actually liked was when Kurt Angle would come out and the crowd would chant "You suck" with his music.
Yes.
That I actually like. But to me, it's the crowd trying to take over the show.
Yes.
And in ECW, it worked because it was new and fresh. But then at one point in ECW, it got old to me. So I'm over it, the chants, but it was through the whole show, which I don't or through the whole match, which is why I don't understand why people said the crowd wasn't hot. I thought they were hot through the whole show. But Josh Alexander coming in as the challenger, 6 months in the making. He had lost it at Bound for Glory when Moose cashed in some kind of variation of Money in the Bank. Moose had gone to Josh Alexander's house and showed the signed contract and intimidated his wife and his kid, Josh Alexander's kid. And then at an indie show, Moose speared Josh Alexander's wife, which you might think, oh my God, she was a female wrestler at one point, so calm down. I'm sure she knew how to take it.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was a great match, great back and forth.
It was a fantastic match.
Other than Deonna Purrazzo and Taya Valkyrie, for me, that was my favorite match. I think this was the most solid match of the night. It was old school. They were doing chops. They were doing... Josh Alexander did the 10 German suplexes at one point.
No, 11.
Did he do 11?
It was 11.
Was it 11? Okay. Well, I only counted 10. Because plus I was, telling people to sit down at this point again, too. Because some people were standing up. I wasn't as vocal as I was before. But
no, not during, like you were during the tag match.
No. It was a great match. I like Josh Alexander. Moose as a heel is so much better than Moose as a babyface. I mean, the crowd gets behind him as a face, but I think as a heel, he's great. He's such
a fantastic fucking heel.
He reminds me of a guy like Deion Sanders, or somebody like a pure athlete that's just got an arrogance to them. Yeah, it's not through no fault of their own. They've just got that swagger and that arrogance, and it doesn't feel put on to me. It feels like. Not that they're a jerk in real life, but they've got that aura and that... Am I boring you? I'm sorry. Am I boring you?
Oh, sorry.
Jeez. I'm the one that worked all night and hasn't had any sleep, and you're falling asleep over here. I appreciate that. Really good world title match. It wasn't that kind of world title match where we were watching our watches, waiting to get out of there. It was really, really good.
Now, the match... that I would say that I was waiting for it to fucking end would have to be like going back to our first episode, a fucking the main event for WrestleMania. Last fucking it was like.
Are you gonna drop any more F-bombs today, or?
Yes, maybe I fucking will.
The fuck. That's another reason why we are not discussing where we are today. Yeah. Because we had certain parameters on what we could mention. I get it, especially from where we're at. We're not going to tell you where we're at and we're not going to tag where we're at because, God damn it, you don't need to know and you're not going to know. Really solid match. Josh.
For all you know, we could be in hell.
Well, sometimes with you it is.
Shut the fuck up.
Josh Alexander ended up becoming the new champion. Oh, I forgot to mention his kid had a singlet and the ear guards on. And his son came in at the end of the match. And I don't think Josh Alexander knew what was going to happen.
Or his wife?
Yeah, his kid just climbed up onto the second rope like it was, he ruled the roost, and it was a great,
amazing.
I thought it was great that his son was there. I always love when people get their families involved. Yes. Because it shows that it means something to them. Sometimes when a wrestler wins a championship, it feels like they just don't care, like it's another day. But when it actually really means something to somebody, I enjoy it. And the fact that a lot of these wrestlers, especially, I've seen more love for Impact from the Impact roster than I have for any company lately. I mean, people say they love being in All Elite Wrestling, which is great, but...
You don't act it.
Sometimes. Well, a lot of times they do. But Impact, their roster seems like they love being there, and a lot of guys like Eddie Edwards probably could have gone to AEW. Yes. Josh Alexander could have gone to AEW. I think they like the lighter schedule because they tape Impacts, I think they tape 2 or 3 episodes at a time. And they did the pay-per-view, and in the same building, they taped a couple episodes of Impact. That's a great way of doing it.
Yes,
then your talent can go do indie dates and all that stuff.
Or take the time off.
Exactly. I love Impact. I think that Impact...
It's better than what it used to be.
Oh, and I know a lot of people say, oh, well, it used to be TNA, and then they did, it went crappy for a while. Watch it. Just watch. Even if you watch their clips on YouTube, the product is amazing. The wrestlers are amazing. If you're going
it's way better now because you don't have fucking Vince Russo behind the fucking scenes.
You hate Vince Russo.
Yes, I fucking do.
You sound like Jim Cornette. I love Impact. I will forever say that Impact is amazing. I wish more people could see it, but Access TV isn't available on everybody.
No, because
for everybody.
Well,
you don't have regular TV anyways, but but I keep you informed of what's going on, and you watch videos. You send me videos all the time. I mean, pretty much like an hour after I got home, you had sent videos of the pay-per-view.
It was like, this is what we fucking missed.
I was kind of bummed because I was expecting the pay-per-view to be right up on the Impact Plus app, which I have, which is where I watch Impact. I was expecting it to be right up on there. I don't think it's still up on there yet. They might have a deal with Fight TV where they don't immediately put it up on there. They do special events where it goes up immediately, which their next one is Under Siege, which is actually May 7th, which is next weekend. The night before, we're doing our merch table, which is actually pretty cool.
Yes.
I loved it for it being our first pay-per-view. I'm 41 years old. I've never been to a pay-per-view. I hate saying that.
I'm 29, and that was my very first.
Right. We got into the building quick. We got our merch done. We got to meet the Good Brothers. You met Moose.
That was awesome meeting Moose.
Yeah, Moose is cool. Honor No More was doing a signing at the end, but at that point, we were exhausted, and we just wanted, I like Matt Taven. I've seen so many Matt Taven matches, including a match where he almost killed George the Animal Steel doing a moonsault up from the top rope all the way to the floor. George the Animal Steel wasn't looking, and Taven landed right on top of George the Animal Steel's head. I know he felt horrible about it, but if you can ever find that clip, just Google, Taven and George the Animal Steel, and it'll come up. I love the Impact Wrestling roster. I know I'm gushing about them, but I think it's one of the most stacked rosters right now, as evident by that pay-per-view. If you can watch the Rebellion, merchandise plug, the Rebellion pay-per-view, and tell me that you don't like Impact. If you're a WWE fan, you're an AEW fan, you like wrestling, that's great. Give another company a chance.
Yes.
What is it going to hurt you to take 2.5 hours out of the time that you would normally be watching wrestling or watching something else and just watch Impact and give it a chance? I'm not asking you to become a hardcore fan. I'm just asking you to say, hey, I'm going to check it out for a couple hours.
Give any wrestling a chance.
I mean, I've said it on the last episode. Go to an indie wrestling event.
Exactly.
Like, we went to that one in Connecticut, and we had never seen anybody on that show before, and we loved it. And we loved most of the wrestlers that were on it. Go to indie wrestling. Go to Impact. Impact does a lot of their shows in other areas. I think their next, that Under Siege thing is in Cincinnati. I'm hoping they come up here again. I'd love to go back down to Poughkeepsie. If they do come up to Poughkeepsie again, I'm doing the TV tapings. We're going to get a hotel room or something and do the TV tapings. But what did you think of Rebellion?
I liked it. Hands down, it was really awesome.
Yeah, I think for our first pay-per-view, it was a really good experience. I want to go to an AEW pay-per-view.
I would love to go to an AEW show.
Hopefully they'll do one in Boston because we're a few hours away from Boston. I don't want to go to Rochester. I hate driving out all the way across New York State to get to something, but Boston's actually a pretty nice drive. WWE pay-per-view, it would probably have to be a Royal Rumble or something like that.
Royal Rumble or WrestleMania.
Yeah, and I'm not going to pay the money to go sitting in nosebleeds at WrestleMania. And I don't want to do access and all that stuff. It's all about money with them now.
Really is.
It's not about putting out a good product. AEW is all about putting out a good product and being good to the fans. Impact is about putting out a really good product and being good to their fans. They didn't have to do those meet and greets before and after the show. The Good Brothers didn't have to sit at that table with everybody, going to get food and getting merchandise. But they were cool as shit. They were nice as could be.
They were. They were like, "Throw them up, boys."
Yeah, they let both of us get in the picture for one price. They didn't have to do that, which I thought was really cool. All in all, I thought it was a really solid show.
It really was.
give Impact a chance. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to. I think you can pay like $1 a month to watch their show on, or maybe $1 an episode to watch their stuff on YouTube. So they do, there's 4 weeks in a month. You're paying $4 a month to watch their show. I'm paying $7 a month to get the Impact Plus app. I say check it out. That's pretty much all I got. I thought it was a really good show.
Yeah, it really was.
I don't know when we'll be able to record again.
You losing your voice?
I am actually losing my voice.
You been yelling at people sit their asses down again?
Yeah, it feels like it. I hope you enjoy what we're doing. This is a just a passion project for us. We're not like we said before. We're not trying to get famous. We're not We like doing this. I don't know how often we're going to be able to do it. We want to create a studio for ourselves at some point and be able to do this more regularly. We actually had to rent this place to do this because we wanted a place with no distractions, no phone calls like it had been in the past.
Yeah, we don't. Thank God we didn't get any from Vince.
Right, we wanted no distractions because we wanted to really do justice to the pay-per-view and all the stuff that we wanted to talk about. Other than that, May 8th, Desmond Hotel. Scott Wilder, 80 Superstars. We're going to be doing a merch table. If you're in New York, it's a really cool thing. You get a chance to meet the Rougeaus. Did I mention Dutch Mantel? Dutch Mantel is going to be there. Zeb Coulter, for those that might remember. Mike McGurk, the ring announcer. If you ever watch old Coliseum videos, she was the female ring announcer. I think the Shockmaster Tugboat, whatever name you want to give him. I believe he's going to be there too. Don't hold me to it.
I'm wondering if he's going to wear if he is going to be there, if he's going to have that fucking stormtrooper.
He does have the helmet. He does bring it to signings. So that I'm going to do a photo op with the Rougeaus. I don't know if I'm going to with anybody else, but we'll be there. I'll be selling merch. I have action figures and trading cards to sell. I believe I have a Velvet Sky banner to sell. And we have Jeff Hardy coloring books that we give out. So if you have a kid, and you're there, say hi. We'll give you a coloring book for free. I got them on clearance from TNA a while ago. June 18th, Tough and Talented Wrestling, Torrington, Connecticut. You can go on Facebook, just search Tough and Talented Wrestling. It comes right up. The event comes right up. We'll be there doing a table. I've already got some ideas for signs to hold up during the show and hopefully get pictures. We're going to do commentary on a couple of the matches. I don't want to record the whole show. No. And I think we're definitely going to do the Stepdads match. Yeah. We're going to record that for sure. And we might, I don't want to do the main event because I don't want to do goofy commentary on it. I don't think we would do that match justice. We're not, we're doing this, but I don't think we could do commentary and do justice to that match. So we'll pick another match to record. I hope you check us out. Follow us on social media at CheapPopsShow on Twitter. You can search for us on Facebook, Instagram. We're going to be doing TikTok videos. We haven't been able to do any because it's been hard to do our schedules, but we have lots of ideas for videos.
Yes, we do.
We have NWO videos planned, parodies. He wants to do a Super Trooper one, which I think will actually be kind of funny.
Yes, it will.
But thank you for checking us out. Leave a comment. Even if you hate it, I don't care. Leave a comment.
And like I said, even if you do, or like you said, we're going to be at the show. Even if you walk up to us and tell us to go fuck ourselves.
I'll laugh at it. I'll think it's hilarious.
Exactly.
Because I can't physically do that. But if you think I can, that's great. I'm Dave.
I'm Nick.
Thank you for checking out Cheap Pops. Follow us on social media and check out for episode 3.